So I figure I'm gonna do my do another one, just full of it. Like I said, I got a lot of shit to get out. I was watching a YouTube video. I don't know if you guys have seen this one, but this guy has been viewed quite a few times, and he talks about it's God, right? Okay, I'm gonna get religious. I'm not gonna preach or anything, but I'm just gonna discuss religion. I'm gonna discuss religion. Like, you're gonna listen to me talk about religion. Anyway, the guy talks about how, okay, if I had an infinite amount of time and I said I gave you a chocolate bar at the end of the infinite amount of time, you would never get the chocolate bar, right? So he talks about when time had to start at one point, and the universe had to start at one point, therefore God exists. Now, I do believe God exists, but not for the same reasons he does. You can't just make a rational argument and say God exists. You know what I mean? Like, just picture this, okay? If you don't believe in God, that's, it doesn't matter, because if he is real, then it really doesn't matter if you believe in him or not, right? So, it doesn't make sense to put it, because we don't understand. I believe by being born and coming here, you automatically have certain parts of your brain shut off, so you can't figure out the mysteries. You know what I mean? Like certain things. So certain things will always be a mystery to you, right? But like you can't just say, time the Big Bang did happen. I mean, they got proof that there's still radiation vibrating from it. I guess they figured out that okay, at one point the universe just willed itself into existence. Light and time happened all at once, gave us all our basic rules, gravity, all that shit. So how does a universe just force itself into existence? You know what I mean? It has to come from somewhere. That and where, like, okay, for instance, if this universe willed itself into existence, where did all the rock we're standing on come from? Did that just fucking appear out of nowhere? Like, on top of that, like, okay, universe blinked itself into existence. What, how does that happen? Like, and then rocks appear out of nowhere. There's boiling hot rocks forming the planets. On top of that, you have a galaxy that's heated to 1 billion degrees. Then life is going to grow out of that. When 1 billion degrees happens, there's nothing there. So you got these sterile rocks all over space, and life just happened to start growing out of one of them. This is why I don't, gotta believe in something. I mean, people say that, science and God can't work together, but why can't God be the best scientist? You know what I mean? Why can't this all be an amusement park ride? My theory is, when you're dead, you're like a spirit or whatever. You know everything. Like, not everybody knows everything, but I'm just saying, like, you don't have to worry about food, you don't worry about money, you don't worry about any of that stuff, and you're ethereal, like you're see-through, right? Like you don't have any mass. So there's no pain, there's no suffering, everything's great. Or, you don't have all these wants and needs driving you. And it sounds crazy because you're not questing for things, but it's very relaxing because you don't have to go questing for things. So you're kind of like at a Zen Buddha level, and you're happy and everything's cool. But then you come here and you're defenseless. All of a sudden you get all these weird feelings like fucking with you all the time. Like hunger is always after your ass. Like gotta eat. And fear and all these like things that have been built into our race for 1 million years. You got to worry about, like fear of fire, or, drowning, and getting eaten by an animal. These are all things that just are bred into our genes and stuff like that. It's been happening for thousands of years, so it's kind of built-in fear mechanisms, right? Like certain things, like when something flies at your face, you put your hands up, right? Because it's just a natural born reaction. I guess there must have been a lot of cavemen getting hit by rocks, like, and then all of a sudden one guy went, "Whoa," and then started doing it all the time, and his kids started doing it all the time, and continues the cycle. So I do believe in God, because whether it's like one God's up there watching all of us, or we're all little pieces of God, which I think is kind of a neat theory too. He gets to come down here and experience things from a human level, which is kind of neat. I remember one time I was having a panic attack, and I don't know if it was just my faith or something really did happen, but I was over at my buddy Chris's place. I was sleeping in a spare room, and I started to get a panic attack. My heart started to go thump, 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 thump. Oh! And the terror happened. And the only thing I had tried before, but I decided to try again, was praying, right? So I was like, okay, I'm going to start praying. And nothing happened at first, and I was like, well, I've done this before, never a response, nothing ever happened. But then all of a sudden I just kept doing it, and I wasn't even as strong. My faith, my actual belief, was not very strong. It was pretty flimsy because nothing had helped me before. But then my panic attack just went away. So it's strange. You can't, and it's not because it was over. It hadn't really even fully taken effect yet, but it just went. For an OCD kid starting to get in the throes of a panic attack with no, ways to deal with it, there's no way it's stopping. So that's one reason why I kind of started believing in God. And I mean, I'm not out there telling you to believe in God and telling you to believe in Jesus and sinners who must repent or else, that type of thing. It doesn't matter. Like I said, nobody knows for sure what happens when you die, because nobody you can't know, because if you were to say die and then get brought back, resuscitated, you're like, oh God, I know all the secrets of the world. Here you go. It's not gonna. There's no secret to life. It's basically a learning experience. You come here, I think when you're dead, like I said, you know everything. You get all this, you learn so much. When you come here, you start off at zero again. So it's kind of exciting because you have things to quest for and things to go after and you have to eat and you have to, acquire a place to live and mate and, all this cool stuff. But then there's also a lot of bad stuff in life too, but it kind of balances out really. But anyway, I remember one time, I don't think I was having a bad period, a bad time. I was just by myself, home alone, and I kind of it's almost like I felt the touch of God. But you think, oh, it's God, you're going to feel all omnipotence is going to come on you and light and all this other stuff. It feels like putting on your most comfortable shoes. It feels like it's your oldest friend, just most comfortable person to be around ever. That's what it feels like. It's not, if that's what it was, who knows, it might not have been, but it's hard to say. Nobody really knows, right? But I think that there's so many, science will never, there's a lot of scientists right now that are becoming religious because they realized with all this research we've been doing on the sun, we still don't know why it was formed, and we know what it's made of, but we don't really know anything more. So science can help us with certain things, but there's other things that science can't help with. Most things, though, science is good. But I mean, just because you're scientific minded doesn't mean you can't believe in other things. There's so many things that are unexplained. How did I have a dream when I was 6 that came true when I was 13? How do you have the exact, and I had this dream and I remember thinking, what the fuck? And then years later it came to pass. How is that possible in a scientific world where there's no nothing? How do you see ghosts, or how does that one fruit fly keep following me around and I kill it and then it's back again and there's only one and there's no food in my room, and it was winter and there's very cold in my room. There's no way fruit flies just kind of grow out of nothing, right? But anyway, just to give you something to consider, I mean, space, as far as I'm concerned, God said, okay, I'm going to put you guys on Earth. Eventually you guys are going to figure out how to get off Earth, so I got to give you guys a playground that's big enough that you'll never find the end of it. So it's basically I want to go 10 million light years this way. Oh, there's nothing here. I'm going to go 200 million light years this way. Still nothing. I'm going to go 400 trillion light years. Oh, still nothing. Oh, well, this is a big waste of time, wasn't it? I really don't think we should go into space. I think space should just be, learn from it if you can learn stuff, but we're meant to be on a planet. We're not meant to look out at the stars all the time. Make automated defenses for asteroids and stuff like that, but we really don't need to be fighting in space. We don't need to do anything out there. We need to fix things here, you know what I mean? Stupid Earth. Going to hell because our ancestors fucked it over. Anyway, just one guy talking about, religion, God, stuff, and, it doesn't matter what his name is or which one you follow. It's all the same guy. It should be all the same guy.